Ladies, gentlemen and tribbles, I'm Yuzril, the game is Star Trek Online, and welcome once again to the Iconian War. We have had some legendary displays of Klingon strategy so far, haven't we? We had the Emperor Kahless charging valiantly into combat with an Iconian and getting killed. We had Captain Kagran ordering an all-out attack upon the Iconian sphere and getting quite a lot of other people killed. We had that Klingon pilot Gujoth, at least I think that was his name, who I frankly wanted in my ordnance crews until he rammed his destroyer into an Iconian vessel and got killed. Who knows what genius we shall see in this week's episode, Butterfly Effect, or rather Butterfly. They seem to have given it two different titles. The research team in the Iconian system has been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations on how to use the Krenim weapon. I'm assuming they just push a button, but hey, you have to have it aimed at the right target, and they now want us in to evaluate the most promising options and decide how badly we want to break the galaxy this time. Captain Kagran, you haven't been thrown out of an airlock after last time. Wonders will never cease.
The research teams in the Iconian system require your assistance. They have been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations of how to use the Krenim weapon. But I need an officer with field experience to evaluate the project and its feasibility. You will participate in a focus test of the most promising options. A blade cuts both ways. We must be sure that what this weapon can do to the Iconians does not cause greater harm to us.
Tell you what, we'll point at your great-grandfather and we'll see how it goes. That'll be our first test. Anyhow, what do we have? The Focused Assault Training Manuals, which could be interesting. 720 dilithium ore for the first playthrough. The Temporal Disentanglement Suite, and oh boy, that is shiny. Ooh, 20% extra shield capacity, 4 auxiliary power setting, and a boost to both crit chance and crit severity based on auxiliary panel, and a 3% shield hardness boost. Ooh, yeah. I think I may have just found a new favourite science console. And oh yes, a Chronoton torpedo launcher, new warp core, yada yada yada. Snore, nothing too outrageous there. Singularity version, and of course beam and cannon, omnidirectional, anti-proton infused Tetrion arrays. So basically they're gearing you up for a lot of Tetrion gear, aren't they? Well, maybe. We shall see. I've got some Tetrion beam arrays stashed away somewhere, I think. Let's head off. We are going to the Iconian system once again. Maybe they haven't broken causality, maybe they have. In any event, I'm thinking we have a little blue box stashed away somewhere if we need it. At least I hope we do. Maybe an antique bronze carriage as well, but certainly a large bottle of something alcoholic. Begin Butterfly. And here we are. Ooh, looks like the lay set's in attendance and they got the dreadnought moving.
Welcome. We have been working with the Krenim to build both this facility and a weapon similar to the one developed by Anoraks in the 22nd century. Captain Nog is running point for the Alliance, but teams from all across the Alpha and Beta quadrants are involved with the research. It's fascinating work, but there's a lot to do yet.
Adrana, weren't you the one who got compromised by the Elachi when we tried to open the Taldera gate? That's really not a good omen. How can I help?
Captain Nog might be able to explain more. He's waiting for you.
Good to see you again, traitor. How's the brainwashing going?
It's good to see you too. For a few weeks, I was helping the Alliance research new ways to deactivate Iconian gateways. We were making progress, but it wasn't fast enough to stop the advance of the Heralds. After Captain Nog made contact with the Krenim, I asked to transfer here. Now I'm working with interdimensional resonance harmonics to help recreate Anoraks' work.
Right, someone double-check all the work on interdimensional resonance harmonics. And you asked to transfer here, did you? Right, that'll just be the programming, won't it? Having better sleep?
Yes, I have. I guess the Solanae aren't visiting me at night anymore. Or maybe it's the 14-hour days trying to wrap my brain around complex temporal equations that are wearing me out. Either way, my sleep is greatly improved. Thank you for asking.
Ah, right, it was the Solinae, not the Elachi. My bad. It's good to see you again.
Welcome.
Yeah,
We
how
have
can I help?
Captain Nog might...
Thank you, shut up. Now, where has the little Ferengi gone? Hey guys, anything to add? Nope. Still haven't got the wiring diagrams sorted out, I see. So, Nog, where are you? And yes, I know he's probably right by the giant gold eye on the minimap. Look, don't question it. Why is there a red dot? Why is there a Jem'Hadar soldier on the minimap? Am I just being paranoid? No, I don't think I am. Hey guys.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records, but we have not attempted to use it yet. Time isn't something you mess around with, so we have been conducting simulations here of possible incursions, as well as developing new ways to protect and store data on various timelines.
Or you could just ask DTI to give you a hand. So why not just delete the Iconians?
That was the first simulation we tried. The results were fairly catastrophic.
Oh, what happened?
Without the Iconians, the first development of warp technology by other cultures in the Alpha Quadrant is severely delayed, by about 50,000 years. Removing the Iconians would change everything we know.
Oops. How? I mean, that seems like a fairly major hiccup. I mean, Zephyr Cochrane got his discoveries independently, didn't he? I mean, it seems inevitable that someone's going to figure out the equations and have that little accident at the Brookhaven Collider.
Let me put it this way. In one version, the Day Ones eventually rise to power and conquer most of the Beta Quadrant. They are forced back by the Vulcans, who never embrace logic, and later enslave much of what is now Federation and Klingon space.
That would be a problem, yes.
I'm not done yet. The Herc never developed warp technology at all, so they never invade Kronos and unite the Klingons as a warrior culture. When the Vulcan Star Empire finds the Klingons in the 22nd century, they were mostly farmers who had made some advances in epic poetry. By the present day in this simulation, the Vulcan Star Empire is locked in a to-the-death struggle with the Dominion.
Did you manage to save some of the poetry? It sounds like it could be worth having. But yeah, removing the Iconians is a bad idea. Can't we just delete Tamara then?
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances.
Yes.
We've managed
Scylla said something.
That the Iconians can't time travel because it unravels their minds. She was being dramatic, but she was essentially correct. When most humanoids time travel, they retain the memories of their timeline of origin. So you realize when things have changed. Iconians are at least partially energy beings. You saw that when Matara was able to use her own power to open gateways. And their brain structure is very different from other humanoids. As far as we understand, if an Iconian traveled back in time, their mind and memories would reshape to fit that time, so they would retain no memories of the present. They don't use time travel because it would literally be taking a step backwards.
So basically, you send an Iconian back 200 years and you delete the last 200 years of their memories. Well, that has some interesting possibilities if you want to forget a bad breakup and you've got a temporal slingshot handy. Still, makes sense of that one.
I wish I was seeing you under better
Yes.
circumstances.
Get on with it.
Once we make an incursion, anything not protected by a temporal shield will conform to the new timeline. That includes all of us once this mission is over. We won't remember the Iconians, the war, or anything that changes in the new timeline. Clouda has been leading the work to create a shielded computer core to hold all the data we currently have. A time capsule, I guess you'd call it.
Does that core need to be permanently shielded?
Correct. This isn't the sort of sacrifice we'd expect any personnel involved in the incursion to make. So we've built a computer to retain the information for us. We'll know what happened before, even though it essentially will have happened to someone else.
Better not do the hard drive swaps outside of the shielding bubble, though, or you're going to automatically erase all the data. Still, it sounds like they've got hold of the phase discriminators from the DTI novels. Understood.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype. We've tried a different number of scenarios, but only in the holodeck. Direct action against the Iconians is proving to be problematic, because so much time has passed since they were first a great power. Incursions that far back in time must be carefully planned, or the fallout of even minor changes can ripple across reality. We have, however, seen some promise in trying to delay their arrival.
but that's just delaying the inevitable, though it does give us a few years knowing what's coming to prepare. So, hey, you never know, we might be able to line up a little surprise. What about just averting their reawakening, or maybe cutting out Matara? Or maybe cutting out Matara a few years before she reawakens? Stuff like that?
Actually, it would be closer to a 700-year delay if our calculations are correct.
Oh,
the Iconians have had 200,000 years to build their fleets, but we're catching up to them. We've already seen what the 29th century technology can do. Imagine what we'll have in the 32nd century.
Yes, and on the other hand, you're assuming the Iconian tech level is going to stay static. Maybe, maybe not. We'd be on a better footing.
Exactly. The other potential solution is to cut into the current power base. What if the Iconians never allied with the Alachi or the Solanae? We wouldn't be facing the trouble we do now.
The trouble we do now is an Iconian fleet rampaging across the galaxy. The Alachi and the Solanae were just softeners and reconnaissance. Delaying the invasion's the better option, I think.
The three most promising incursions each follow one of these tactics. My teams have been running simulations and refining their targets, but I'd like you to assist them using a special quantum recursive algorithm. Our simulators can run the outcome of a possible incursion on the holodeck. Interacting with that simulation will give us more data than just crunching the numbers. We need to really interact with it to see what reality would look like, and for that, I need someone like you with field experience.
Okay, this sounds like it'll be fascinating. And by fascinating, I mean, oh god, I'm going to get shot, aren't I? Let's go investigate Alteration Alpha. So, what are we changing this time? Soften,
Hello.
talk to me.
Please allow me to explain what we're doing here. We've determined that if we remove a specific series of stars from the Beta Quadrant in the distant past, a rogue planet will enter the Iconia system and cause massive geological damage at about the same time the planet was bombarded by the Iconians' enemies. The technological buildup of the orbital bombardment that destroyed the Iconian civilization will still happen, but the Iconians themselves will have to deal with a natural disaster, not a war.
You want to play pool with planets? Okay, that's interesting. What else happens if you remove that particular little series of stars? I mean, anything I need to worry about? Like, say, that planet carrying on and crashing into Earth a million years later? Mind you, that would be 800,000 years in the future. So, hey, problem for next week. That sounds like you're just exterminating the Iconian Empire in a slightly different fashion, to be perfectly frank. So why is this better than the war?
Maybe the survivors of a natural disaster, if there are any, won't be so vengeful, and none of the stars we will remove have planets with the possibility of developing life. The overall effect on the galaxy is minimal. It's a painful path, but it could be the one that leads to peace.
Or the Iconians realise that somebody deliberately aimed an entire planet at them, and what comes up in 200,000 years' time is hell-bent on vengeance. This seems rather extreme, doesn't it?
The number of stars we will have to remove is a concern, which is why we're trying this in a simulation first.
Oh,
but
good.
as Captain Nog said, these simulations aren't perfect, so we have devised a holodeck program that will expand and extrapolate on possible effects of the temporal incursion.
Right, because holodecks never screw things up. Yeah, good boy, good boy.
It's the best option we have available to us. The holodeck's algorithms have been updated to change and adapt to the data created by the simulated timeline alteration. This is not your average holo novel.
Oh, good. It sounds like a very bad holo novel. What do you need me to do?
Once we run the program, you'll be able to interact with our best approximation of the new timeline. Interaction with the holodeck components will allow the program to generate a more in-depth solution and give us a better idea of what to expect. We have set this simulation on a Federation starship patrolling the Sol system, and you are the captain. If all goes as planned, we expect that almost everything in the system should be close to current reality.
Oh, God. Let's see how badly banjaxed this future is. To the holodeck. Oh, my word. Where am I swinging? Ooh, pretty little plasma orb. I think I'm going this. Ah, here we are. One holodeck. Run program alpha. What the fuck? Okay. Normal, you said. Okay, so apparently someone wasn't prepped for the Dominion War. What's going on here?
You're alive! We repelled the intruders on the bridge, but the ship has taken heavy damage, and a lot of the crew are injured.
We have Jem'Hadar running around, I noticed. What's the situation?
Sir, I'm not sure this is the time. So many people are hurt, and most of the systems are offline. The life support is on backups, and our resources are down to nothing,
And I'll help the wounded, but start talking.
The Dominion stopped firing at us when we lost weapons. Now they're focusing on Earth's defense grid, but it's only a matter of time before they return to finish us off.
Fine, well, let's put everything back together. We have a little bit of a respite, so then we'll go... Oh dear.
Sir, I tried to fight them off, but the boarding parties, the Jem'Hadar, we have to stop the Dominion. They can't take Earth too.
Oh, great. What else did they take? Vulcan? Beta Z? Everything else? Ugh. Right, what do we got? Another crewman to stabilize. Yeah, how bad was it?
We can't stop them. Maybe if we hadn't been at war with the Romulans.
Maybe.
Maybe if the Klingons hadn't ripped themselves apart. I'll be fine, Captain. Just rattled.
Get down to sickbay. By the sound of that damage, you've done something to your lungs. Now then, what about you? How bad is it?
I never expected they would get so far into our defenses. I'm sorry, Captain. I just need a moment. Then I'll be ready to fight.
Excellent. I don't think the
Incoming
ship's
hail.
going to be ready. Oh dear. Well, I imagine this will be the demand for surrender. Hey guys.
USS Ajax. Sensors show your ship is completely defenseless, and I would prefer not to delay our arrival at Earth to deal with such a minor annoyance. Surrender now, and I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
To which I think the traditional response is nuts. Okay, data from the simulation console. So the Dominion War went completely and utterly south. Okay. Hull breaches, decks 4, 5, and 6. Hull integrity 22%. Weapons offline. Shields offline. Life supports on emergency backups, which is probably the least dangerous thing we have to deal with. Scan for Iconian activity. Long-range sensors are offline. No Icons in the immediate area. Personal log. We haven't seen the Borg fleet. Vulcan gone. Andoria burning. Romulus, etc., etc. And the Romulans decided that without the Klingons breathing down their necks, they weren't an issue. Terrific. And the casualty report: 3 billion, 2.5 billion, 9.4 bit. Did somebody get careless with red matter again? Honestly, you trip, you lose a football-sized sphere of the stuff, and hey presto, Vulcan's gone splat. Download everything, and then ends the program. Well, I think we can rule out Alternative Alpha. That was not a happy scenario. Soften, your plan's in the bin. Come up with something better.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Philip. And, oh, hi. And bye, Philip. Wait. Franklin! You know what I'd really like, and that's the option to just punch this guy in the face. Would have been so much fun. However. And
Sorry, we were watching from the control room, and that could have gone better. Even with all that, the simulation data on whether the Iconians were entirely eliminated from that timeline is inconclusive. We were able to record your interactions, and we've been able to piece together what happened from those.
Lucky me. What did you find?
From what we can piece together, the Klingon Empire was never unified by its conflicts against outsiders, and the great houses turned on one another instead. The Romulans took the chaos as an opportunity to attack. The Federation stepped in to help the Klingons, and the war between the three factions basically ripped the quadrant apart. The Dominion then conquered all 3 weakened powers.
So basically, General War scenario number 153. That's not our solution.
Agreed. My team will continue working on other possible incursion scenarios.
That's nice. Perhaps one that doesn't involve playing pool with planets again? Perhaps we can weaken their power base. Beta team, what have you got for me? Yoink, and yoink, and what's this anyway? Who knows? Who cares? I probably shouldn't be standing on it, that's for certain. Noi, what have you got?
Another one of you Voyagers? I don't know how you can help, but very well. My team is working on scenarios that reduce the Iconian power base. We're attempting to do so by fixing a mistake that Janeway allowed to happen decades ago. We're going to stop the Vaadwaur from being rediscovered. We plan to do this by preventing Voyager from ever coming into contact with underspace. This will prevent them from finding Vaadwaur Prime, and 7 of 9 will never wake the Vaadwaur.
Okay, I'm going to call it now. Quadrant's overrun with Borg because Voyager never ever triggers the events of Endgame. We'll see.
None of us are going to survive if we don't try to repair the damage you've already done. The goal is to cause a solar flare that will force Voyager to divert from the course it was on when it stumbled into underspace. If it safely passes without entering underspace, it can continue on its trip home and bypass the Vaadwaur entirely.
Instead, running into something even worse and getting destroyed. Well, that might work. We'll try it.
The simulation is set for the USS Voyager, which is fitting since they caused the problem in the first place. Our projections show that even if the Vaadwaur never return, your people will still find a reason to stick your noses into our business. So we're attempting to see how the elimination of the Vaadwaur will change the formation of the Delta Alliance. You will be a member of the diplomatic team.
I'll run the program. He's a happy chappy, isn't he? Claude, what have you got for me?
Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your quadrant for some of the Krenim's troubles. After all, if Voyager hadn't restored the Vaadwaur, they would have never been in a position to ally with the Iconians. But there is no reason to dwell on past hurts. We're trying to fix what we can here, and then learn to accept the rest. Noi funnels that passion to help his people into his work. Perhaps it will change everything.
But perhaps it won't improve his manners. Still, it's interesting to see a Suliban along. Thank you for your honesty.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak highly of you.
Thank you, I think. Okay, what do you do here?
I was on Kiana Prime with Noi when we received word of the Vaadwaur attacks. We had only hours to get the temporal equipment running and remove the population from the time stream. Since then, the focus of my work has been developing more stable data storage. It is a pleasure.
Fascinating. You're the one doing the temporal hard drive then. Excellent. And in the meantime, ooh. Hello, Jarok. Anything to say? Nope, not feeling chatty. Right, let's see how badly we break the future this time. Come on, guys. Run program beta. And it looks as though the Delta Alliance is about to implode. Jiro, what have you got for me?
This is an absolute disaster. I had thought that Admiral Tuvok was being pessimistic about the chance for success here. But now, I think he was right.
Well, it's not a quick process, but by the looks of it, we're just barely past the strangling each other with our bare hands phase.
No, it's not. The hierarchy started setting these people against one another before Admiral Tuvok and his team could start to pull them together. The very fact that they all agreed to be in the same room is a minor miracle.
Okay, so the hierarchy are a problem in this timeline? Fair enough. What do we need?
Between Vulcan logic, Klingon tenacity, and Romulan pragmatism, we'll convince everyone here that the threat is real, and an alliance is in their best interest. But it won't be easy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I see I have another argument to break up.
So what are you bringing to the table, Ambassador, besides the face that everybody wants to punch? Okay, let's go talk to the Talaxians. Hey guys.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon are using our system as a dump, and their trash isn't our problem.
Okay, what do you think about the hierarchy?
The
becoming more
Malon
aggressive?
claim the hierarchy are harassing them, but they're targeting our ships too. So I don't know what to believe. But there are rumors, traitor talk, you know how it is. But I've heard it a lot lately. They say the hierarchy are capturing people and selling them to another race for experiments or as food.
Wait, the hierarchy hooked up with the Iconians? Terrific.
We've always tried to be good neighbors. The Malon
Wonderful.
might not be the biggest threat, but they are the most immediate. Wait until they start dumping their trash in your front yard and see how you like it.
Well, we've got the technology to clean them up, haven't we? I mean, we could do that. Okay, Malon Prime would have a massive economic recession to deal with as a good chunk of their economy collapses, but hey, details. Is there a compromise? Apparently not. And the Malon?
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? You can save it. I have a commitment to my people and my planet that supersedes any other concerns.
What about some free recycling technology? I mean, we can solve your whole problem if you'll just stop pissing off the Talaxians. What do you think of the hierarchy?
I don't want to talk about the hierarchy. They're nothing but trouble. That's part of the reason we're looking for new dumping grounds. I've lost too many ships in the past year. Half a generation of valuable and desperately needed haulers. They're just gone. And I know the hierarchy is to blame.
I see.
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too?
Nope.
We don't need outsiders telling us what to do. If the Talaxians want to talk, they can come to us directly.
Let's get them interested. Time for a little bit of a bribe? Yeah, definitely a shot needed for waste management here. They've resisted it. Fine. The most the males move to lax in space to avoid hierarchy attacks, and naturally the diplomatic relations have ended up in the toilet. What a surprise. Oh, and the Malon have accused the Talaxians of working with the higher... What? Terrific. Well, they probably aren't. And the Benthans could potentially pressure the Malon. Fine. So what do the Benthans want?
Yes, what is your question? I am rather busy. The Hazari are stepping up their smuggling operations, and the hierarchy's new drive for profits has created a significant increase in attacks on unaligned transports.
Okay, so what do you think of
the hierarchy's surveillance measures are the best in the quadrant, and that's left us more exposed than I would like. We're losing ships. Once or twice we found debris with hierarchy weapon signatures, but they're cautious. It's like they can smell traps.
Who knows? Maybe that's the truth, but I'll wager gateway and enhanced sensor technology has more to do with it.
Yes, what is your question? We have enough to do at the moment without getting into a dispute that doesn't concern us. The hierarchy is harassing our supply lines, and I'm convinced they're behind the losses we've taken over the past 3 months.
What a shame.
Yes, what is your question? Good
Fine.
luck with that. The Hazari aren't interested in anything but making deals. This whole meeting is just a waste of time. Unity might work where you come from, but I don't have any reason to cooperate with criminals like the Hazari or thugs like the hierarchy.
Maybe I can convince the Hazari differently. Or maybe not.
What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies? Or was it the Malon? Before everyone broke ties with the hierarchy, they told us what people say about us. Mercenaries. Honorless. Ha! They all deny it, but we know. Now we look out for ourselves.
Personally, I've always found successful mercenaries to be rather honourable. If you don't fulfill your contracts, you don't stay in business. What do you think of the hierarchy?
They make our jobs harder and easier. They watch everyone. We used to trade for information from them, but now they won't sell. If we can capture one of their ships, it's like a treasure hoard of information. Makes hunting bounties real easy. But it's harder to take out their ships. I hear they're getting upgrades. And it's not just their ships. Stories going around about one captain whose arm was ripped off by a hierarchy, Commander. Used to be, they'd run from fights. Now they start them.
Doesn't sound like the hierarchy, I know, but hey, we've all met starship captains who could rip arms off people, and I don't just mean the Klingons either.
What do you want? Did the...
No. Nope.
We need to
Fair
make
enough.
a living, same as the rest of you. If the Benthans would take out the hierarchy, what do you want? Fine, run back to the Benthans. I'll be here if you want to talk business.
Actually, now that you mention it, we may have a contract, but I don't get that option either. Okay, Giro, how bad is it?
Unraveling this mess could take months, years.
And we don't have years, and why did I just hear a transporter shot behind me? Oh, right, they're all beaming out. Terrific. Well, so much for the Delta Alliance. And then the Iconians show up and the quadrant disintegrates. Okay, so quadrant threat reports. Number of abduction 77.2%, and there's no outside confirmation because no one's willing to share with the Federation. Ship's log. Kiana system has been invaded by hierarchy forces, and yep, the hierarchy and the Elachi. Catching! Iconian activity, long sensors detecting both, and there's more than normal. So basically the hierarchy hooked up instead of the Vardois. Terrific! Download everything and M-program. That future's, well, it's marginally less catastrophic, but we're still not going for it. Noi, I'm afraid to say you're just as boned if we don't do that. Let's talk.
Damn, that was useless. The Iconians were so determined to have a hold here that they simply found another species to fit the bill. Maybe if you had been a better negotiator, you would have been able to unite those representatives against the hierarchy. Then at least we would have had a chance.
And maybe we wouldn't.
This scenario isn't as catastrophic as trying to remove the Iconians, but it's not exactly ideal either. We'll have to try something else.
You must excuse my husband's harsh demeanor. This has been a very trying time for the Krenim. Thank you for helping us get this far. We'll keep working.
Thank you, Clara.
Trust my wife to be the voice of reason.
Yes, well, that's fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, we need to go look at Gamma Team's option.
Hello. We've been waiting for you. Our team is focusing on delaying tactics. What if Iconia had never been discovered? In 2365, Captain Donald Varley of the USS Yamato found a star chart on Denias 3 that revealed the location of Iconia. I want to redirect a meteor to impact the archaeological site on Denias 3 before Captain Varley begins his excavations. Iconia will remain a myth, and we will not attract the Iconians' attention as early as we did.
And the USS Yamato won't be catastrophically destroyed in Star Trek The Next Generation. This might work, which makes me wonder how it's going to go completely, utterly, and horribly wrong. Possibly by, I don't know, having the Yamato instead of the Enterprise in play for a situation that later required the Enterprise. But who knows, who cares? And yes, I was wrong about the Borg. Mea culpa.
True. But if you compare the changes in Iconian technology over the past 200,000 years with what the rest of us have done in the past 2 centuries, it's obvious that the Iconian culture has stagnated while we have advanced rapidly. Additionally, there are other factors in play that could trigger the alliances and sharing of technology that have come about because of the Iconian threat. It's a risk, but it's one that could pay off.
But it probably won't. Let's try it on the holodeck
program
first.
is set for Romulan space. Because the Hobus supernova was caused by direct Iconian interference, we expect Romulus to be intact in this new reality. As such, the Romulan Star Empire should once again be a major power in the quadrant. Your role will be as an officer on a Romulan warbird.
But if you restore the Empire, the Republic never gets formed. Oh boy, that's where it's going to go wrong. Are you sure about this?
To call it a huge change would be an understatement. Please be aware that nothing will be done unless the Republic agrees this is the best possible solution. There is already a team here working on the possible restoration of Romulus, And Commander Jirak has been authorized to speak for the Republic if needed. The fact that our data shows delaying the Iconian arrival will also save Romulus is an interesting coincidence, but it does not mean we will accept the solution without looking at other options.
That's not why I'm worried. I see.
The program is set...
Fine, I'll go run the program. Jirak, do you have anything to add on this particular piece of insanity? No? Fine. Okay, let's go try option Gamma. And no doubt we'll find that the Romulans are about to wage a massive war across the quadrant. Yoink. Oh, Commander Temmer, eh? That's nice. Where is he? Oh yes, up and behind, as I remember. Do we have a Thaler core in here? Yes, we do. Hello, Temmer. What have you got for me?
Sub-Commander. I'd like to test out some new security passcodes. If you'd be so kind as to seal the doors and disable certain, equipment, we need to talk.
Understood, Commander. Because the Tal Shiar won't find this completely suspicious at all. Seal the doors. And then disable the listening device, which only leaves the half dozen that we don't know about. There we go. Alright, Temmer, what is the plan? What are we about to use the green glowy beam of doom on?
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us now. I need to talk to you about Datan and the Separatists. They've been located near the Dewa system. What we do next could change our future.
Well, the only thing that we know about the Separatists is through official channels. What do you know?
Datan has been inspired by Spock's teaching. He and many others have left the homeworld and are gathered together in a flotilla somewhere near Tal Dewa. Datan and his allies have been making overtures of peace to both the Federation and the Klingons. Because of this, they have enough support that even the Tal Shiar won't take direct action against them. The Borg are at our borders. The Empire can't fight the Collective and the Separatists at the same time.
So you're proposing we wipe out the Separatists and then move on to the Borg?
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us now.
Whoop. Oh, there we go.
If I was, I wouldn't have needed you to lock the door. I intend to put Lieutenant Salan in the brig, and then take this ship and crew to join the Separatists. Are you with me?
That will make us traitors to the Empire, for one thing, and it kinda won't help the small problem that, we'll still have Borg on one side, Empire in the middle, Separatists on the far side, and everyone will hate our guts.
I know. I have tried to work within the system, but the system is broken and corrupt. Datan and his people are building something better. You and I both know it. The crew knows it. We will take this warbird to Datan, and we will finally be free.
Unless your name's Gaius Selan, in which case, sorry, you're in the brig, mate, and then probably out of an airlock. Let's do it. Unseals the door, and no doubt discover that we've got a Tal Shiar waiting room for us on the other side. Well, welcoming committee. Waiting committee. Nope, we've not been busted. Gaius, hi. I'm afraid we kinda have to throw you in the brig. Sorry about this.
Secret conversations between the commander and one of his senior officers? Very suspicious. Loyal citizens of the Romulan Star Empire have no need for locked doors.
True, but who said we were loyal citizens of the Romulan Star Empire? To the brig with you.
You are a fool, and you will be the death of everyone on this ship. Datan and his people are terrorists. If you join them, you will share their fate.
Yep, that's true. However, you'll end up there first. This is where he has the self-destruct, isn't it? Oh no, he went quietly... Wait, what do you mean he went quietly?
It is time we forge our own destiny. A destiny free from the tyranny of the Tal Shiar. If we leave, we will have a better, brighter future than what they would allow us. I know this is a step into the unknown, but it is a step we will take together. Throw off your chains. We will join our brothers and sisters in freedom.
Yeah, right after we put down the mutiny. Okay. That's nice. Now we need to speak to the con officer. And then we need to, kinda get rid of Gaius before he puts his plan B into action.
I wanted to let you know that I am with you and Commander Tamer. Some of my family has left Romulus to join Titan. I'll be proud to join them.
Set a course for the Dewar system, then someone find me the ship's cook, because he's going to be a problem as well. Access to the computer. The Dessac, eh? What do we got? Note to all hands. The seminar traitors in our midst. The historical execution of the... what? Okay, good to see they're running some edifying briefings. Starfleet vessels assisting new Romulans. No exceptions, etc, etc. Commander's personal log. Triple encryption protocol, Guile Sisters. So basically he was sounding out the crew, but... yeah, then the Borg roll in and take over Romulus. Iconian activity? Nothing, and they're mostly myths. However, the Romulans are on high alert, but then Voyager is going to pull endgame and cripple the Borg. Download everything, end program. Okay, well that hasn't completely wrecked the future. Let's go talk to Jelen. Certainly he's got what seems like the least broken option as far as firing this weapon goes.
That is the most promising simulation yet. It appears there was some merit to our hypothesis that the Iconians advanced their plans due to early contact.
But it's not perfect. The Borg are still on the rampage.
The readings do indicate higher levels of Borg activity, but it should be an acceptable risk.
Yeah, and then there's Sailor, of course, who at this point is probably... I think she's still a fairly senior official in the Tal Shiar in that timeline. She won't have had her falling out and bid for power that came about after the destruction of old Romulus. Well, we should be cautious.
The data in this simulation does show higher Borg activity than we're currently seeing, but there are no signs of Herald, Iconian, or Solanae presence at all. And while the Romulan Star Empire is restored to their former power, there is a democratic Romulan group opposing the Tal Shiar. And more importantly, Romulus is intact. This is the result many of our Romulan researchers have been trying to bring about.
Well, they might be a smidge biased there, mightn't they? But will be significantly altering everything.
The political calculus of the quadrant will change, but the data supports what you saw on the holodeck. No Iconians. We have solid projections. The only suggestion I have now is that you consider it in conjunction with Captain Nog and the Republic representatives here.
Because we might just be starting the second, third Romulan Civil War? Well, I'll discuss it, but no promises. It is, after all, the least broken option that we have on track at the moment. Jirok, what do you think?
This last test has the most promising results I've seen, and saving the Romulan homeworld is an added bonus. We're not going to have a lot of shots at this. I've been looking at Anorex's work, and I think it's too easy to get into a temporal loop where you try again and again for a specific result, and time starts fighting back. I'm inclined to say this is our best chance. But this will have a huge impact on the reality we know, especially your people, Commander Jirok. I won't give my authorization without hearing from everyone.
Well, we have to consider the effect of the pipe. Well, we don't have to, but they'd be a little bit annoyed if we didn't. Commander?
This is difficult. It would change everything for us. We'd have our home back, but the Republic, everything we've built, it would all be gone. But there's still hope. Even in this other reality, Titan has led many Romulans away from Sela and her Tal Shiar thugs.
Well, yes, but, no Republic. On the bright side, we would have the data about the Iconian Gate under Tal Dewar, and hey, maybe we could speed things up a little, give the new Romulans a bit of a leg up.
The simulation specifically mentioned Titan and a separatist movement. Commander Tamer makes the choice to join Titan, the same choice he made after the homeworld was lost. With Romulus, we could have numbers. More people who have had enough of the Tal Shiar's oppression could join us. Maybe millions more. If Titan is able to get a movement going, even at the height of the Empire's power, I have to believe that change is possible.
And maybe, just maybe, what happens is that the Romulan Tal Shiar stamps on your little separatist movement first of all, then gets stamped on by the Borg, and we have to deal with a completely assimilated Romulan space. So, that could end badly, but hey, it's our least worst option at the moment.
Make the incursion. The lives we save will be worth the work we'll have to do to reform the Republic. The Tal Shiar wasn't able to stop us the first time. They won't stop us again.
So, all Romulan players, I apologise, I'm about to wipe out the first 30 levels of your characters. Well, omelettes and eggs, as the saying goes. And the Lesset and the Krenim vessel will be travelling with us. The Krenim have got the weapon, the Lesset is our backup. Anything else? We're all temporarily shielded. And we'll need to be careful because the generators can be damaged. Terrific! Let's go! We have a meteor to divert. Of course, the thought occurs that the Lesset will immediately cease to exist. Still, we're temporarily shielded, so it could be worse. Welcome to Romulus. Wait, Federation starship in Romulan space?
Target acquired and locked.
Okay.
Activating
Fires the
weapon.
meteor.
Incursion complete.
Yoink. And
it will be
now
good
what?
to see the world of my birth again.
It's not the world of your birth, Commander. It's a parallel one. Still, it'll be kind of nice to see Cheyenne.
Is that Romulus?
Oh.
It's been completely assimilated.
Shit.
Yes, I think we have a problem.
Yeah, don't
No.
say.
We expected to see some Borg activity, but this can't be right.
Yes, it can, because the Borg were a little bit more aggressive than the Romulan records led us to believe. What happened?
I agree that this is unexpected, Commander, but we knew there would be anomalies. We need more information. Let's find out where the simulation might have gone wrong.
Yeah, stay on the edge of the system. The last thing we need is the Borg mucking about with that thing.
The whole system can't be assimilated, can it?
Yes, it can.
That is a lot of Borg.
Well, cloak up then. Not that it'll help me very much, but okay. Fly into scanning range, little squirt on impulse. Right, scan Romulus for data centers. We need to know what went on here.
According to these scans, the planet has been completely assimilated. I'm not detecting any non-Borg life signs. This is bad. Really, really bad. We need to fix this.
Agreed. Can we go back and change that meteor
Borg
course?
ships decloaking. Red alert.
Oh, great. The Borg have... Of course the Borg have cloaks. Fighters away.
First the Klingons, now the Borg. Does everyone steal cloaking technology from us?
Hey, as I understand it, you traded with them. Okay, you got scammed and ended up with a load of D6 hulls that you didn't really want, but it was your deal, Missy. And as I recall, you stiffed the Klingons on the deal. What was it? Second generation cloaking devices that we already knew how to
Borg
penetrate?
reinforcements on an intercept course.
Little on the late side. Oh, crap, that's a cube. Torpedo away. Defense platforms away. Fighters out. Let's see how this goes. Roll in and get the shields back up quickly before this goes completely out of commission. And just generally wreck face. One cube less. Finish off the little guys. Come on. I said finish off the little guys. There we go. Nog, talk to me. We need a better option here.
We need more information before we can fix this. I'll keep the Krenim ship well out of Borg sensor range while you go in and find out what happened. Hurry. More Borg will be arriving soon.
Won't we be affected once we leave the ship?
I've modified some personal shield generators to shield you temporally as well. I'm transporting them over now. Hurry. The temporal shielding drains a lot of power. You won't have much time down there before you're unprotected. If that happens, this will be your new reality.
Well, that won't bother me too much because I won't remember it, but we'll get the data. There we go, and we only have one more shot before the capacitors burn out, so we need to get this right. Lovely. Okay, Jirok and away team, let's go. Hadn't hunted Borg for a while. Nice, pleasant change.
We need more data to plot a possible solution. With any luck, the Borg will have what we need. Maybe. Our focus is on restoration. There is a computer node in this area of the Unimatrix that should have what we need. Find the node and download all the data you can from the point where we made our incursion. That should help us find out how to fix this.
Okay, we'll find the data.
I'm going to join you. I know this place. Or at least I knew this place. Before we lost the homeworld, it was a Talshar complex. Most of the secrets of our empire were stored here. I thought I was getting my home back, but now the Borg have taken it all away. This is like losing Romulus all over again.
Well, that's because you did lose Romulus all over again. However, the controls ahead will lock the bulkheads, but first things first, I am just going to pull out my... Where did I leave it? Not the shotgun, I want my TR-116. Because, hey, anti-Borg weapon. Come on, let's go for a walk.
The whole planet, all our people, they're Borg.
Yeah, did you have to wake them up? Apparently so. Come on, down you go. Nice and easy. Let's just keep moving and see what we can get from this node. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Beep. There we go. Continue towards the node and see how badly wrong this can go.
I can't believe we were so wrong.
Well, we kinda got it. I mean, if it hadn't been for the, you know, Borg invasion on the other side of the Empire and us getting that little detail wrong on scale, then we would have... Oh, this reads like an ambush. Yoink! Okay, start shooting. More at it. Shotgun. There we are. Yoink, and
cover me! I'll override the door controls.
Wait, the door controls are on the wrong side of the... Okay, fair enough. We have more drones incoming. On the bright side, that was a very nice little flanking shot. Now, if you don't mind... Yoink, one less drone. No, you don't. Zap. And zap. Okay. That was a bit more impressive than I remember his issue weapons being. Any more drones? Oh yeah, there's one. And now there isn't. And last but not least, come on matey, down you go. Have some bullets. 1 and 2, 3, and I wonder who we're going to end up shooting at this end. Probably an assimilated sailor. That's nice. Now let's keep moving again. Continue towards the node, and no doubt the next ambush.
We have to find a way to make this right.
Yes, we're on it, in case you hadn't noticed. Keep zapping. Keep zapping, keep zapping, keep zapping. There we go. And... yoink. And that's rid of him.
Resistance is futile.
Oh, Obisek. I'm assuming Obisek of Borg, but... There we are.
That's the access node console we need.
Lucky us. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Locked. We'll have to circumvent their security measures. Wait! Incoming Borg!
That's nice. Start shooting. Now. There we are. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh, great. He's adapted. Well. Oh, yes. That's why I left the remodulator. Boop. Okay. 3 consoles to activate. Shouldn't be too hard. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Beep, 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 boop, beep.
When we lost the homeworld, I thought that was the worst thing that could happen to us.
Oh, trust me, there's always something else. It can always get worse. Thought you would have realised that by now. There we go. Do another quick remod. And then... Yank. Down you go. I'm sorry, are you dead? That's more like it. Thank you. Boop, beep, boop. And then... quickly loot, and then beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
You will be assimilated.
Yes, 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 yes. I dare say we'll get to you once we've hit this third console. Come on. Oh, beaming on top of us. That's a dirty, dirty trick. I approve. Remod. And just beat them down. Job done. Right. For the final time. Beep, 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 beep.
This was Romulan technology once, but it's been completely assimilated.
That's nice. And guess who's about to show up?
Hakiv?
You will become one with the Borg.
My apologies, it wasn't Obi set.
Is futile.
We should probably start shooting. Wait a bit. Secundus of Borg. Who's Primus? And while we've got that exploit, come on. Come on, give me the shot. Give me the shot. No, not you, although I'll settle for a dead drone any day. Yoink. No, you don't. Scan on. There we go. And now Hakiv's dead as well. Yay! Not a major loss to the galaxy. Year of Hell. Personal shield. And another lockbox. Okay, let's go nick this data. Look at it this way. We did the guy a favour if we stopped him from existing as a Borg drone. Come on. There we go. Input query. Temporal records. Drone to available. Breakdown records by it. Something, etc. etc. So they simulated on 6858904. Unimetric established. Down
It
data.
looks like the main invasion of Romulan space occurred about 20 years ago. Something happened in the Delta Quadrant. The Borg assimilated something that greatly improved their technology. They adapted, evolved, and my people, they didn't have a chance. Maybe it's our fate to lose Romulus.
20 years prior. What was going on 20 years prior in the Delta Quadrant? Who knows? All we can try to do now is restore the previous timeline. Maybe it'll help, and maybe it won't. Get us out of here. Now.
Let's get out of here. There are more than 20 Borg ships on an intercept course.
Only 20? Bring them on!
More Borg on the way.
Lucky us.
Borg decloaking.
Fighters away. And straight into the aft torpedoes. Have it, guys. Come on.
Resist this.
That was more or less the plan, actually, but there you go. Right, here comes the hell. We're going to find out who Primus of Borg is, I suspect. Or it's Nog ringing up to panic in my ear again. Hail the time ship.
Transmit the data! Hurry! We're under attack!
Oh dear.
We're losing power! Send the data now before we lose temporal shielding!
Sending
Focus
data.
on your repairs. We will make sure the data is preserved.
Compress the data logs. I said compress the data logs.
Data is
That's
compressed
one.
and ready.
Modulate the array. Before we
Communications
lose
array is
power.
ready.
Start transferring the
Secure
data.
channel confirmed.
And at 56.6, send the data.
I'm running the numbers now. If we target the Borg transwarp network, the Borg may never be able to reach Romulus.
Well,
it is
if
a
we
great
weren't doing
risk.
something...
The Borg have a great deal of influence on the timeline, and there is no time to run simulations.
Do we have a choice?
We do not.
Well, we do. We can wait for a simulation, but... hell, push the button.
Targeting the transwarp network.
Firing the weapon, now!
And yoink. Okay, so, good news. We just erased Oh.
The Borg are gone. But so is Romulus.
Bugger.
Romulus isn't the only thing we lost. Temporal shielding is failing.
What happened?
The Borg did too much damage to the generators. If we lose the temporal shielding, we'll all reintegrate with the timeline.
Has anything else changed?
Checking. No. The Tutarians. They're gone.
What? How?
I see the problem. 20 years ago, your people tried to replicate the work of the Solanae to protect themselves from the Borg. In this timeline, they failed.
Oh dear.
Temporal shield is at 8%.
No, I need to restabilize the shields.
I'm downloading my personal files into the shielded core. You'll have all my research notes and everything we've recorded from this mission.
You're giving up? When the shield fails, if the Tutarians were lost in the past, then you'll be lost too.
Yep.
Shield is losing integrity.
Is there anything we can do?
Nope.
No, we all knew the risks. I love...
Hey guys! Welcome back to the Krenim research station, where I've apparently decided to shoot the console for no reason. Let's switch out of shoot mode, shall we? So, we have got a slight Gordian knot to deal with here. And I also need to find a way to the continent. Ah, it's through here, isn't it? So we take a right. And then we try again. So... Hey guys, what do you got for us this time?
We found a temporally shielded computer core, and it shows 2 uses of the Krenim weapon. But as far as I know, the Iconians are still out there. We changed the timeline, but we didn't fix our most important problem.
Okay, so how different is the world
We
now?
won't be sure until we finish analyzing the data, but the Krenim weapon was used twice. I remember being on the bridge of the Krenim ship and seeing a readout with a far lower power reserve than had just been there a moment before. I'm sure you had a similar situation.
Yeah, we were up to our eyeballs in Borg, but go on.
As to the greater differences, we'll know more soon. I only hope the ripples from what we did today don't start a tsunami.
Well, I suppose you better start downloading that core.
We found a temporally shielded computer.
What was
we
in
haven't
it?
dug that far into the data yet, and it will take some in-depth investigation to catalog all of the changes. Noi is going to lead the group taking care of that. I will say it is odd to find personal logs I don't remember making.
Not as odd as Noi's gonna find it when he discovers files from a wife he doesn't remember marrying. But that's gonna be very strange.
But from what we've already seen, it appears the reason the weapon was fired twice was because we had to try to correct a change we made. Technology like this seems so simple, but even the smallest change can make more trouble than it solves. We have to be more cautious. Far more cautious than we've already been, I suppose. The next mistake might not be fixable. Time alteration might not be the answer. There are some problems that can't be solved with a weapon. But time travel... Look, whatever happens, it was good working with you. I hope we have the chance to do so in the future.
Indeed. Assuming we don't manage to break the entire future again. Jarok, Noi, had a chance to catch up on the information of what we did? Because, let's face it, no one's going to be happy with us. Adrana?
I was conducting another simulation, and all of a sudden I got an emergency call telling me to stop everything. I will be looking at whatever data we managed to save to try and determine what went wrong. Maybe we can try again after we know more.
Maybe,
It has been
or
good
maybe
to have
not.
you here. But we will have to consider if time alteration is really the best course of action. Of all the records we have of time travel, few have as drastic a result as this. Perhaps removing elements from the time stream isn't the solution we need.
Maybe, maybe not. Goodbye. Jarok, what have you got
We
for
put
us?
so much hope into using the Krenim technology to solve our problems. Perhaps I was caught up in the possibilities and blind to the potential for disaster. We tried and we failed. But this isn't the end. We'll keep looking at the simulations as well as any other option open to us. I have to have faith that we will find a way to defeat the Iconians.
Well, maybe we can and maybe we can't. I hope we can, or Season 11 is going to be a very interesting one. And Noi, have you had a chance to look at that data core yet?
I have a lot of information to analyze. The shielded core appears to have made it through the process intact, and will give us a wealth of data on the timeline and how the changes have affected it. Clearly, you made a mistake somewhere. I still feel this is the best technology available to us, but we will need minds sufficient to the task to operate it.
Goodbye, you git. And there we go. Am I ready to jump back? Not just now. I want to go take a look at this course if there's something to use over here. And the answer would appear to be no. Oh well, back to the ship. The Gordian knot remains unsolvable, but perhaps we can cut it. Not sure how, mind you. We don't really have a sword big enough, but there you go. And that is that. That is the end of Butterfly.
Captain Nog tells me that the initial test of the Krenim weapon was less than promising. He says that he and his team have a great deal of data still to analyze. But I do not believe they will find much that will assist us. Removing elements from the time stream is reckless, and while our options are limited, we should not destroy ourselves in a fruitless effort to destroy the Iconians. It is time to consider all of our alternatives.
Well, as fruitless efforts go, well, who was the guy who ordered a berserk charge against the Iconian sphere? Oh, wait! Maybe we can use a Genesis device, drop it on the surface of the sphere and then run. I mean, it did collapse an entire nebula without too much difficulty. And that's pretty much that. So we have the Temporal Disentanglement Suite, and of course we also have the Assault Training Manual. So let's collect the rewards and look at these training manuals. I think that's got to be our first focus. We'll just dump that and throw those overboard as well. Interesting that they went with Tetrion weapons rather than anti-proton weapons. Also grab the weekly reward because, hey, I want that specialization point. Thank you very much. Yoink and yoink. And then we'll just snag the Disentanglement Suite. Take that, clear that, throw the tribbles out the airlock, or at least the carcasses. Likewise that, and we are just about in a position that should give us, yoink, there we go. Focus Assault. So, info, what does this do? Trains the bridge officer, pinpoints a critical vulnerability, allied ships. Yeah. Reach time it. So, how is this different to attack pattern beta? Buffers are stressed by continually attacking the target. Okay, so you hit the target. And then the target... Ah, right, I see, it only runs for 20 seconds. How a target dies while active, you get a recharge option. Attack pattern beta, by contrast, just drops everyone's damage resistance rate. So basically, different mechanics, different way of doing it, but I think we might have an improved version of attack pattern beta here. On the other hand, it's single target only. And it is capped at 20%. We'll have to try both of those out. I suspect Focused Assault will work better in a single target situation. AP Beta will work better for dealing with swarms, but that's a problem for later. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I have been Yuzzel, that has been Butterfly, and farewell.